Hey guys, it's December 22nd. Tomorrow we're going to be heading up to the Boston area for Christmas. But, well, yesterday I was doing a little work in the boat, trying to vacuum up all the old paint chips that are probably, white lead based. And I discovered that my little brand shop vac is really kind of not the best for that sort of work. It's only 6-gallon capacity and 3 horsepower peak. So I had to go down to Hyannis today to get the final appointment for my finger, which, as you notice, had a splint on it and doesn't anymore. So I'm free to use my hand now, which is a great thing. While I was down there, I went ahead and I picked up some other stuff. So those of you who aren't familiar with Cape Cod, it's like an arm, right? And I'm right here on the arm, up towards the hand, in a town called Eastham. And there's not much out here. So if you want to go to Home Depot, Harbor Freight, any sort of like big box store, you have to go to a town called Hyannis. So I got this little cat's paw pry bar and a 3-piece set of varying lengths and widths of those kind. I got a silicate respirator. I got this guy. We have double the peak horsepower, 6.0 instead of 3.0, and we got a 14-gallon capacity. So this is a much better vacuum for the task at hand. Alright, so I got my new rigid shop vac all set up. Let's see what we're dealing with the Harbor Freight respirator. We got XP100 filters, which are great for particulate, which is what we're dealing with here with the paint. Pretty good seal. All right, should be good enough. So, name of the game today is get all this freaking peeling paint off of the ceiling and the walls and the floor and any other debris that we might encounter. Alright. Vacuum up some paint, shall we? why you don't fasten a friggin' wooden boat with iron. Look at that. I am so friggin' glad I don't have to wear that split on my finger anymore. I have a pinky again. It's looking a lot better. It's so nice to have a good shop vac. This thing, $119 plus tax, well spent. See a deep red hue. It looks like a lot of the topside planks are mahogany. We'll take a look at the port side rotten areas here too. So here's a mahogany plank that was totally eaten out. And this one looks sound, but it's popped out. Or you can see that rod. Our rub rail is totally separated there. But so here you can see this one's cedar or larch or something, and that one's mahogany. So they replaced a lot of the planks up forward. Looks like that one's mahogany too, with mahogany planking of some sort. And another thing of note here too is that, actually I have some in my pocket here. These mahogany planks are fastened on with Phillips head stainless screws. Do I have one of the... Yeah, here. And the older ones from the 80s are flathead. So you can see a flathead's here on this plank, and Phillips head's over here that fasten on this mahogany. So I think this side of the boat was worked on later. And planks were replaced. And then, like, you have stuff like this. You got a big Galvy shoulder bolt here. Looks like the remnants of a plate to, like a big washer plate type thing. The remnants of a bolt there, and then another bolt there. That bolt itself might actually be stainless. So we got like a lot of wonky stuff going on here. Here's the remnants of a iron screw. So a lot of these planks are going to have to be replaced. But I think a lot of this mahogany can be saved. Like you can see, it looks pretty good over here. But again, it's all popped out of the stem right here. Much more so than on this side. If you look side by side, port side is much more popped than this, but this is more rotted, but this is more popped. So what that tells me is that these planks were replaced later on, maybe in the 90s, I don't know. But somebody worked on this and replaced a bunch of planks with mahogany. And then the stem itself probably has, I know for a fact down below it has a bunch of rot, so it's probably rotted up in here. So they were just putting new fasteners into questionable wood that was probably good enough when they put them in. You can see another rot spot right up there. So yeah, zoom out a little bit. You can definitely see the difference between port side and starboard. So we got our work cut out for us. It looks like we have some very crudely sistered frames here. See how that one is just kind of like butted up against the stem assembly? I believe that's dead wood. But then that one there joins in with it. Same down here. That one's just kind of touching up against it. Don't really see that over here. This is the side that has the mahogany planking on it. So it looks like these three sets of frames have these weird sisters going on. There's a sister frames right there, sister frames right there, sister frames right there. But they didn't do it properly, right? They didn't actually hog out a cavity in the keelson and, or not the keelson, the deadwood. And they're just like kind of, it's almost like they jammed them down from up top and just butted them up there and then fastened into them. So, once we get these ceiling boards off, we can get a better gauge of what's going on in there. As I said, that situation is not present over here. But that's the original planking. That stuff right there. So I don't know. See, we have a giant check running up running up here. So what I want to do right now is get this hunk of plywood that separates the two water tanks out, so I have more wiggle room up in here. Alright, once I get this thing out, I'll have more room in here and I can vacuum up all this crap. Hi! You know, that little shop vac had no power, but it was small. Whatever. All right. Here's the four-peak. Not all of the loose paint is out of here, but a fair amount is. That whole section of wall right there is. Right now, I'm going to cut this wire. It's in my way. And there is absolutely nothing about the existing electrical system in this boat that's going to be kept. There we go. There's those sistered frames there. So once I get this whole assembly, this whole guy out, get at these ceiling boards on both sides, open up the hull and see what the heck we're working with. That piece with the hull number on it is the bilge stringer. There's one on either side. Yeah, that's the name of the game. Get this old girl gutted out so we can see the frames and the inside of the planks and determine where to go from there. However, I do want to keep all of the plywood, just in case I want to keep the same configuration, which I kind of do, because this is kind of a historical restoration as much as it is a refit. So I kind of want to leave this boat as is. Gotta say though, I hate how little headroom there is in that forepeak. That is. I've whacked my head on either this or on the deck beams so many freaking times I can't even count in that area. But I don't know. I guess that's just kind of what you got to deal with. I will say, though, I'm probably going to delete this cabinet and have a mini wood stove there. All right. I think that's it for today. I've gotten the loose paint situation in there situated to the point where I'm more comfortable doing demolition work. So the next you see of this, I'm going to be ripping more things out. Yep. So I may well start with the settee berths and just get this midsection area cleared out, because I know that's the primary area where there was water ingress and rot, was right along these deck drains on both sides. Can't really see the other side from the companionway hatch, but these are the primary areas where there is frame rot. So I want to get down to the bilge. So I'm going to get these settee berths out of here next, and then we'll work our way forward aft. Anyway, that's that. I'll probably pick this up next week sometime. Tomorrow is the day before Christmas Eve, and we're heading out of here. The only thing I'm going to be doing on the boat is covering it back up with the tarp. And stop turning off. Preparing for that. Success! Thanks for watching this week's episode. Don't forget to smash those like, subscribe, and bell buttons. See you next week.